Long ago, in a quiet village wrapped in fog and whispers, there was a field where pumpkins grew too quickly and too large. They weren't normal pumpkins. Their vines crawled across the earth like green fingers, and their insides glowed with a strange golden light. The villagers called it the Hollow Patch, and they warned their children, never go near it on Halloween night. That's when the pumpkin bride chooses. She drew them in her notebooks, carved them every year, and even named the big ones in her yard. But 10-year-old Elsie didn't believe in spooky stories. She loved Halloween, and even more than candy, she loved pumpkins. So when Halloween night arrived with the silver moon and dancing shadows, she reached out to touch the biggest one, round and orange like a rising sun. She crept past the fence and into the strange glowing field. The pumpkin began to hum, a low, eerie lullaby, and her older brother dared her to visit the hollow patch alone. Elsie couldn't say no. With her flashlight and a carved pumpkin on her head like a silly helmet, the air was sweet, too sweet. The pumpkins shimmered like they were alive. Suddenly, a vine snapped up and wrapped around her wrist. You shall wear the crown of vines. You shall become the pumpkin bride. Elsie gasped, but before she could scream, the pumpkin opened not with a crack, but with a smile. A glowing grin carved itself into its skin. The pumpkins were moving, just slightly but enough to block her way back. Then a voice echoed in her head. You are the chosen. Elsie yanked her arm away and ran, heart pounding. But the patch had changed. It was bigger now, endless. Every direction looked the same. She stumbled and fell into a circle of pumpkins, each one flickering like a candle. Their faces were smooth pumpkin skin, carved with quiet, frozen smiles. Curious, and now, I want to go home. Brave, the fog was fading. The path home was clear. I thought the stories weren't real. In the center stood a girl made of vines, with eyes like burning lanterns, and a dress stitched from leaves and thorns. I was like you once, the girl said. Who are you? Elsie whispered, trembling. I'm the last pumpkin bride, said the girl. Before Elsie could ask what that meant, the girl placed a pumpkin crown on her head. The vines wriggled and tightened like a knot. No pumpkins. No vines, just grass, peaceful and still. Elsie screamed. But then, the crown loosened. The girl stared at her with wide eyes. It won't take, she said softly. You're not like the others. What others? Elsie asked. The girl pointed to a row of scarecrows lining the edge of the patch. They weren't made of straw. They came before you, but you still have your name. That's your power. My name is Elsie, she shouted, clutching the crown and yanking it off. It hissed and crumbled into seeds. The vine screamed, an awful, scratchy sound like dry leaves tearing. The ground shook. The pumpkins shriveled into blackened husks. You broke the spell, the girl said. You ended the choosing. The hollow patch will sleep now. Elsie looked around. But what about you? The girl smiled. You set me free. Her leafy dress wilted and her lantern eyes dimmed. Slowly, she turned into a flutter of golden leaves spinning up into the sky. Elsie ran home. No one believed her story, not even her brother. But the next day, when the villagers walked past the field, the hollow patch was gone, except for one thing. In the middle of the field sat a single perfect pumpkin. Carved into its face was a grin, and beneath it, the name, Elsie the Brave.